Yeah, this will be risky for standard effect.
Okay. And I'm going to take 2 stress. And if anyone wants to help me, I'm going to take 2 stress for 1 bonus die, though. I know that for sure. I don't know if anyone wants to help me, though.
Yeah, I'll help, because as basically what happened was that the door to the kitchen, basically to the back room, was one of those
the
doors.
back room.
So basically, I came out. The guy just stabbed me so hard, I was scrambling out of the way that I fell on the floor. So as you're coming up, I see the guard, and so I basically see you from upside down, like with blood in my gut. Like, captain's going my way, and there's a guy who's going to shoot the captain in the back. So I reverse, try to shoot the guard to cover you while you're hitting to get in hit this guy, with a bot tackle or something. While he's like looking at me down, like trying to finish me off. Does that work?
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. Just mark 1 stress on your character, Rick, and that'll get Raider an extra dice. You can also spend a gambit if you want.
I'm gonna wait for. I want to take a shot. Yeah.
You guys have 3 gambits left at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Would the gun work better if I shot it? I still regret saying that, guys.
We're gonna build up a nice list of things we regret saying. Don't you worry.
Does the shooty thing work when you shoot it? Maybe. Worth giving it a try.
So wait, I'm allowed to.
You're currently at 4 dice, I think.
Okay.
If you're pushing yourself.
Do you have any deals for me, by the way?
So you could, if you want a devil's bargain, it's instead of pushing yourself, so you wouldn't need to take 2 stress. The devil's bargain here is that the fight, the rest of the fight spills out into the street, and basically more people will see you guys on your escape, and that's just like a fictional thing, but mechanically what I'm going to do is add an extra heat to your crew in the Rin system, sorry. So it means you guys will gain an extra heat.
Not gonna do that one. I'll just take 2 stress and then take the extra dice he's gonna give.
Okay.
And would it still be risky because he's helping me, or?
Yeah, it's still definitely risky. You're in the middle of a bar fight.
Makes sense. That's what, 2 extra dice, right?
2 extra dice. Yep. Oh, you got a crit. Okay.
Yeah.
So 2 6s means you got a critical, which means you not only get what you want, but like some extra effect. So why don't you describe what happens when you run over and punch this ninja Xeno fella?
I just run up. I stop in front of him and I look at him and I wink a little bit and I just clock him in the head, and I want him just to pass out.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. So he won't have any chance of escape or anything like that because of your crit. I think the extra mechanical effect here, I'm gonna also tick 1 on the deal with the Malclay thugs clock, because I think they see this, you just king hit this guy and he gets completely knocked out despite being a badass assassin looking guy, and the 2 of them, or I suppose it's just the one on the back door currently, because the front door guy is being handled by the bar patrons. But the one on the back door now looks wide-eyed and a little bit scared. So that's gonna tick up that clock. I think we cut actually to back to the cab, and Kit and Fang, you guys are pulling up outside this bar just as 3 bodies spill through the door. There's this green-skinned Xeno tackling what looks like a cop, a Malclay guard, and there's this guy in the doorway sort of cheering for the 2 of them wrestling. And The scientist fellow says, "Oh, is this our destination? Is it? Looks a little rowdy."
Yeah, this has got to be the place. Can you pull over?
Yeah, he goes, "Pay first, pay first."
Yeah, this guy's got it. Scientist.
Yeah.
I mean,
As soon as he slows down, I hop out the door.
Yeah, I say we're both on both sides of the door, so we both get out first, and he's left in the middle to
Just get
pay.
out, and he's just like, right, and hands out a cred stick. And yeah, like the two of you step past these wrestling people into the bar. And yeah, this final guard like holds up his blaster pistol. You can see it's shaking a bit in the direction of all five of you. And he says, in the name of Ritam al-Malklate, the governor of the entire sector, I need all of you to cease and desist at once and hand over any contraband.
It's okay, buddy. Don't worry about it. It'll just be a minute. Can we see any of our people? Sorry, from where we are.
Yeah. So that
Okay.
like this guy is like trying to threaten all five of you throughout the bar. So now what you see, Rado, like you're probably helping Rick up from the floor at this moment. Edwin's like hiding behind the bar, and there's like 3 unconscious people on the floor throughout the room.
As I'm getting up, do I see there's Sims in the mask of the assassin? Like it can open up?
No, actually. It looks like this entire suit is like one thing.
Oh well.
He doesn't look like familiar to me at all, does he?
No, it looks
Before the
much less-
headshot happens.
No, it looks much less like robes and much more like an exosuit. Like whoever's in that probably needs it to breathe in this atmosphere.
Let's not kill him yet, guys. Or let's not kill him right yet. We all take him to the ship and beat him.
Captain, I'm sorry to say, but he's an assassin.
I'm a monkey. What's your point?
These guys don't talk; they kill.
Stop. Yeah, and the Malclaith guy says, "Stop ignoring me! I'm gonna shoot."
I will walk up to him. I have in my hand like a bottle, and I have like a shot glass, and I'm just pouring it in. And this is a luxury item.
Oh yeah.
It is going to be a bottle of very rare wine distilled from flowers whose pollen produces a sweet taste once fermented and a slight psychotropic effect of mild satisfaction. And the bottle, of course, is going to say distilled satisfaction.
Very
and the label
nice.
is going to be facing him as I'm pouring it so he can read it.
So
And
you're,
I'm going
you're
to
just
say,
trying to convince
it's
him.
okay, you did a good job today. Just go back to your patrol or whatever it is you do.
Okay.
And this is definitely going to be an attempt to sway / bribe / intimidate all of
Yeah,
them.
no, I love it. It sounds like a sway to me.
Let's give it a go. It's risky, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, the guy's still holding a gun, so I think you're risky here. I don't know. There's like 5 of you and 1 of him. No, let's say this is a controlled position.
Okay.
For standard effect, yeah.
And how do controls change things anyway?
It means like the potential consequences are lower.
Got it. Standard. Limited, great, extreme.
Just standard effect.
Yeah. I imagine the bottle is just making this possible. I don't think we really need a gambit, but it's still only 2 dice, but it will probably have some success. Let's see. And my second roll's a 6.
Just talk shit, roll crits, right? That's how.
Yeah, it's easy, guys. Why don't you do this?
Yeah, he like nods at you and like reaches out for the cup, and then he like sits down in the booth opposite the dead contact, and he says, I was meant to take the box, but I guess that's not gonna happen." And he just like takes the drink and downs it.
And then he feels just nice and satisfied. It's like he didn't do it, but he did a good job. Nice little fuzzy feelings.
Yeah.
He survived. Basically, he's alive, so that's good. It's like, Captain, either we take care of him now, or we. In fact, we're running out of time because I'm sure the reinforcements.
I don't think we have quite the time unless you just want to shoot him in the head. Let's get out of here.
Wait, no, I need. Okay, I'll like punch him and then punch him and then punch him until his head crunches.
You could just. Okay.
Edwin just gives like a slightly disapproving ew to this.
To hear a scratching sound, I was like,
"Is this the assassin guy? You're gonna finish him off?"
I'm just gonna crunch his head in with my fist. Yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Cold-blooded
at your
murder.
mercy.
Got it.
This is why I hate getting off the ship.
They
From the
said
door-
I'm a dumb monkey. What do you want from
You're the captain. You're the captain now.
and I
From
basically
the doorway,
Go ahead, yeah.
You all hear a voice, like Fang and Kit. You recognize the scientist guy saying, "Oh my, perhaps would you guys have like introduced yourselves to him on the taxi ride over?"
No.
Okay,
It was
Yeah,
a
I think that
very
makes sense.
quiet ride.
Yeah. He's like, there is some. I think if we're going to head back to the ship, we should go. There's some people approaching.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I will
Yeah.
just look at the captain, shake my head, and go, I think the job's scrapped.
Oh, by the way, this guy wanted to meet you, Mr. The Brain.
The brain will look over and like just like stare inquisitively. But Rado will pick up the body and stuff it into his bag. I think. Like stuff it in, just.
If you're gonna-
Inconspicuous.
If you're going to carry this body
Don't-
with you,
Edward would like hold up his hand. It's like, don't take the evidence with you.
What if we
The C3PO approaches things. Yeah. I'm not gonna argue with the captain. Let's go.
Yeah, it's
Listen,
break
if you want to take the body with you, you can, but you're gonna have to mark a load.
Okay, that's fine.
break the arms, fold the body in half, get it to fit in the bag. Yeah, a lovely scene for all the other bar patrons that are still here.
So as you all spill out onto the street, you can hear what sounds like basically like motorbikes. There are these like hover bikes gunning it down the street. They're still a couple blocks away, but they're coming in your direction. The guy in the cab is sort of like turning it around to head away. There's also like a bunch of other like hover bikes just like parked out the front here, and other vehicles if you want to commandeer them.
Okay. So, question, Mr. DM.
Yeah.
Can I run up behind the cab and grab it by the back?
What are you trying to achieve?
Are you gonna hurl it?
I want it to stay so we can get in.
I don't think everybody's
Sure.
gonna fit.
Yeah, I mean, you run up and grab the cab, and the guy like leans out the window. He's like, "Oh, well, what do you do? Why are you? This is my cab. Why can't you
Edwin
just
is
get
just
in?"
going to like slip into the passenger side seat next to him, and
Yeah.
he's gonna put like a hand on his shoulder and go, "It's all right. Just keep accelerating and get ready to book it."
Okay. So who's getting in the cab with Edwin?
I don't think everybody fits in the cab, do we?
Yeah, no.
No.
You guys,
No.
You're gonna have to take multiple vehicles one way or another,
take
but
the bike.
Edwin's not
you
driving.
guys all get in because
Yeah.
you guys will all fit without. You guys will all fit. So I'll take the scientist and we'll try to hoof it there on foot or something. I don't know.
Well, 3 of us barely fit in.
Rick's grabbing a bike.
Now there's 6 of us.
Yeah, I grab a bike. Just because I can use helm on the bike, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah,
That is
absolutely.
true. I'll grab a bike too then. Yeah.
Because if one of you's in the passenger seat and then
Mhm.
3 of you in the back, that means that Edwin can be in the front, Kit and
I don't think Rado, Fang, and the scientist can all fit in this cab.
I'll just
That's
walk.
okay. Rado can ride on top and fire off the top of it.
I
No.
will just walk. You know, there's nothing
Okay.
less inconspicuous than just walking.
You're in literal all black robes.
So, I can't be the only one.
I feel like you're the only one.
That's fine. I'll just walk
I'm doing
it.
the Jane Runner thing and just gunning it, basically. See
you
me back on
could
the ship.
get on these bikes could fit a second person if you want to get on one of the bikes with.
Hop on.
I literally
Whatever.
just walked into the bar and then walked out. No one's got me for anything.
Fair enough.
gonna-
If you're gonna walk, you will
They're
get
gonna question you.
slower to get back to the dock. is what-
They could question me, but what do I know?
That's a good point.
I suppose my only question then is how do I, as a gorilla with a giant brain tube on my head, fit into either on a motorcycle or a taxi cab?
I think
You know
you
how like the
you
back
pull.
window is probably slanted backwards? You just pop that off.
Yeah, I think you pull the scientist into the back seat, and you're sort of like hunched over, and again, this poor scientist can barely fit. He's sort of like smushed into the side next to you. And yeah, we see Rick and Kit gun off on bikes. I think the first thing that happens that the cab takes off and the bikes take off in the same direction, and then the bikes that were following, like they come past the bar, and there's like 6 of them on these bikes, Fang, and 5 of them go shooting past you, and the last like pulls up in front of you, and it's like a sort of young girl. Not like a teenager, like a 20-something young woman, and she's got like a diamond tattooed on her cheek, and sort of like dirty dreadlocks, and she looks at you, and she says, she says.
Good talk.
Yeah, sorry. no, This is me not.
It looks
not,
like you
not
and
being
it's
sure what
stunned
she
by your
thinks.
presence.
Yeah, stunned, keeps walking.
You don't see a gorilla every day, you know?
She says, yeah, I think that's what she said. She says, "You with the monkey?"
Yeah. That's Captain the Brain.
Well, he's made some very important people very angry.
Why would you say that?
Because I don't care about lying.
That's okay. I think this counts as stalling them one way or another.
Yeah.
The longer you just don't give them answers.
Yeah, and she like scowls at you and she says, "Not very talkative, are you?"
I just told you what you wanted to know.
Do you have the box?
What box?
I mean, are you lying to her? Do you know? You do know about the box?
Yeah, but I genuinely think I might have forgotten.
Fair enough. Do you want to try and stall this girl? Because otherwise
Yeah,
she's
sure.
gonna gun off.
I mean, I literally will ask her, are you in a street gang?
Because I think there's a role here somewhere for you to peel this member of the gang off so that it's not chasing your friends. I'm not sure what action it is.
Sway?
Do you have it? Yeah. It's probably Sway probably makes the most sense, unless you're like gonna try and intimidate her with a command or something like that.
No, this is probably me. I genuinely just want to know more. That's a cool tattoo. You part of a street gang? You wearing your dreads that way for a certain reason? Cool bike. Who makes it?
Totally sounds like consort there.
You're just
Hanging out now.
Consort would make sense if like you were trying to make an actual friend here, but it sounds more like your intention here is to manipulate her and delay her.
No,
So
actually,
that
I'm
sounds
genuinely
like
interested. I'm a wayist. I really would like to know more. I've never been to
Okay.
this world before.
I mean, if you want to roll consort here to try and make a friend out of this biker girl, you totally can.
Cool, I got nothing in that. So is there a special way to roll this?
So if you have no points, the base is roll 2 and take the lowest. But you can still get bonus die here. There's no one around to assist you, but you can push yourself or take a devil's bargain for 1 dice, and you could spend a gambit for a 2nd dice if you want to.
What would the devil's bargain be?
Get hit by a car.
Standing in the middle of the road, you make a friend, but because she takes pity on you after you got hit by that car.
That's hover truck.
Damn you, space Elon Musk.
What is a good devil's bargain here?
You get initiated in the gang and you have to perform gang violence.
I don't think that quite makes sense.
Every 5 years you have to come back.
I think the devil's bargain is that okay, yeah, here we go.
You gotta tell them where the ship is parked.
No, your attachment like to the gang will get back to whoever's hired. Sorry, your attachment to the crew will get back to whoever's hired this gang, and they'll now know that you're like part of the crew, as it were. Like you specifically, Fang.
I mean, I can take that. That's fine. Sure. Make a friend in the gang at the cost of the gang knowing I'm a member of the crew.
Yeah. Okay. So your position here is controlled. I don't think she's like about to break into violence, so it's just like talking to this person. Your position is controlled and your effect is standard.
All right, but if I have no dice in the skill, but I have +1 die, how's that technically rolled?
You just click on the consort, and where it says bonus die, just put 1 dice, and that'll roll 1.
All right, controlled, and you said
controlled standard.
Standard.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
A 3. Yeah. So I think what happens is you start asking questions, and she says, like, the first question you asked was like, "Are you in a street gang?" Right? It was something like that.
Yep, literally the first question.
Where's the thing about? Oh, yeah, it comes. So I think like the consequence here is like just that you lose this opportunity to stall her. She goes, yeah, don't fucking forget it. Direnet gang for life. And she like gives you the finger and like hits the throttle on the thing.
Wait, come back. I didn't hear you. What was the name of the gang again?
And she's just like rocketing away from you.
I forgot.
And yeah, like we cut and there's like a woman like trying to get her child away from you on the street, like this strange black clad person shouting down the street, and she like hurries into a building across the across the road.
Rude.
We cut into the cab, and this scientist fellow in the back seat leans forward and like puts a hand out to shake your hand, Edwin, and says, Captain, I'm well, you could call me Junior. You see, I'm in a spot of trouble, and I was put in touch with your crew via The maelstrom.
Edwin's gonna give Rado like a bit of a smirk, but he's gonna shake the hand anyway. The maelstrom, you say? Do go on.
Well, they said that you might be able to get me off world. That you were doing them a favor at the moment, as it happened.
Well, one passenger's not going to hurt, but I have to ask, what kind of trouble are you in?
For the most part, I'd rather keep it to myself. But I just need to get away from the guild. Oh, probably shouldn't have said that.
That's good. That's what I think we needed to know. And I'll look over at Rado. It's like, you think you can handle that?
And yeah, he like looks at the gorilla and back to you, and he says, "I heard your ship had two captains. Are you Captain Rado or Brian?"
He's both.
and like he stops shaking your hand, and he looks at you, Rado. He's like, and we cut from there to the bikes. And Rick and Kit, you guys are gunning it away, and there are bikes in hot pursuit. How do you want to throw them off your tail?
I'm ducking and waving across buildings. I don't want to do traffic because I don't want them to crash into traffic. But if they can crash into a building, I have no problem.
Right. So you're like going through alleyways and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this city is filled with all sorts of like side streets and stuff. It's also like you can, I think, as you're like driving at breakneck speed, we see like flashes of neon signs that are all like ads and stuff. This is the sci-fi future city of everyone's dreams. Now, are the two of you driving together, or are you going to split up to try and split the chase?
We're on separate bikes, right?
Yeah.
You are, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I would probably peel off and go in a different direction. I'm always split them off. That's good.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll get each of you to roll separate actions then. It sounds like you'll be using Helm probably.
Yeah.
So I think when you peel off, one bike stays. Two bikes follow each of you, and one bike stays with the taxi. So let's follow Rick first. Yeah, you've got two of these bikers following you, and you're like zipping through various alleys. So I think this is just like a risky standard roll.
Okay.
By default.
Yeah. I try to do a gambit to try to have them at least either have a situation where they have to sort of close in and do the sort of TIE fighter thing when they crash into each other, or at least one of them crashes into a building, right? I do a sudden church, like I'm going to ram a building, either go up or sideways, so they go in.
Yeah, that makes sense. So that give me a risky standard helm spinning a gambit.
Dice, yeah.
You get one bonus dice. You can also push yourself if you want to.
Yeah. I'll do both of those. Is that okay? That's 2 bonus.
I'll come back to you.
Oh, gotcha.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, I have total 4 dice, so I'm gonna. It's standard, right?
Yeah.
To use bonus die 1 because I use a gambit. Listen it. I can't see when I go.
You got a 4 is your highest. You got 3, 2, 4, 4. So, yeah, we see you like zipping through the back streets of Warren, and there is definitely like this moment where you peel into a small alley, and the two of them both like try to fit through, but one of them like goes careening into a pipe on the side of one of these buildings, and like falls off their bike and goes scrambling onto the ground. I think though, what complication am I going to give you here? Let me just have a quick look at yours. I think what happens is the second biker following you fires a couple shots in your direction. They don't hit you, but they distract you enough that that you almost like run into a car, and you're gonna drop your fine sidearm, the gun, the special gun that you had with.
Oh, come on.
Well, as with all consequences in this game, you can choose to resist that if you like.
Yes.
This sounds like a prowess resistance to me, and this would be that moment of like it slips out of your coat and you grab it and then grab the bike and keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
So make a prowess resist if you want to keep a hold of that weapon.
No bonus time.
A 6, yeah, no stress. We get this great shot of Rick as you like grab the pistol, and this is probably your title card moment.
Yeah, it's like I'm grabbing at it. Like,
yeah. Exactly.
Well, I guess I have to describe my character. He's wearing what looks like what used to be like fighter pilot gear, at least the pants, cargo pants, a lot of pockets. He has a sleeve, like in the picture, sleeveless jacket. Again, more pockets. A too tight like muscle shirt, right? And it's not that he's not that he's like particularly strong. I mean, he goes to the gym, but it's kind of more like for showing off, right? And he has brown hair, part in the middle, and you can see like he has dog tags that are kind of faded, sort of fluttering in the wind, right? And he seems to be very, he seems to be this sort of street, more like this is a look that looks like something out of a magazine. Like, oh, look at this year's streetwear, right? As opposed to somebody who is, who somebody actually lives there. I mean, he's comfortable in it that he can pull it off. Like someone else would just look ridiculous. They look like they're cosplaying a military dude or maybe somebody off the street, right? Or somebody who's but he wears it with such confidence. It's like, yeah, sure, he looks like he walked out of the latest E sign about street fashion wear, but he wears so well that it's believe it fits him perfectly, right? So a mixture of a practicality, but also like to look good for the almost unseen cameras. In fact, when he has to drop, he grabs the gun and he kind of looks at the camera, smiles, and the bike does a barrel roll and he keeps going.
Yeah, nice. Okay. And we cut from your bike over to Kit. How do you want to lose your pursuers?
Do I get but the prowess roll doesn't give me a gambit?
No. That's a resist roll, not a skill roll.
Okay. Just checking.
Yep, good. Kit, so you've got 2 bikes in pursuit as well. Oh, do we lose hidden again? I know we've.
Hey, sorry, I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you've got 2 bikes in pursuit. How do you want to try and lose them?
I want to honestly try to catch them off guard so they don't see me and ditch the bike and like just blend in with the crowd.
Ooh, interesting. So that sounds more like a skulk roll, maybe, to disappear into the crowd.
Okay.
So I think you're still in a risky position, but your effect here is probably great. Like if you pull this off, they're not going to be like they're going to have lost your trail entirely, right?
Okay, so what was the position? Risky?
Yeah, risky because these guys are still on your tail at the moment.
Okay, I have no skill in skulking.
Yeah, that's okay, because there are ways to get dice even when you start with none.
Yeah, so I think
risky, great. Yep, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so can I use a gambit and I'll push
you absolutely
myself
can.
Stress? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
so it's
absolutely.
stress, and then that's 2 bonus die.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, cool. Let's see.
A 5. Nice. Yeah. So
Yeah, okay, cool.
you definitely lose them in the crowd, but I think that the consequence here, the obvious one for me, is it's going to take you extra time to get back to the ship. And actually, no, I got something better than that. You're gonna run into someone in the crowd that know that you've had a run in with before. It's your rival, Len, the black market dealer.
Oh, I hate that guy.
Yeah. So, yeah, talk to me a little bit about that relationship. Why is he your rival?
Yeah. Is that what the relationship is? A rival? I thought maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a negative relationship. It's up to you. It doesn't have to be rival in the literal. That's just the terminology.
Okay. Well, he's a black market dealer. I guess maybe I kind of as a side hustle, I engineer different parts and try to sell them, and maybe I scooped a client or something.
Yeah, right. Okay. So you were in like a similar line of business, but you screwed him over in a deal or something like that.
Yeah.
Nice. So the consequence here is he's gonna hold you up, but you can, like with all consequences, you can resist that if you want to. It sounds like it's probably like insight to like spot him before he grabs you in the crowd.
Okay. Yeah.
And
cool.
then like duck out of his way.
Yeah. How do I do a resist roll?
So you just click on the word insight. It should resist for you.
Gotcha. How many do I just roll it straight? There's no bonus die? I'm sorry.
You generally don't have bonus dice for resistance rolls because you wouldn't want to spend stress to try and reduce how much stress you take. So the way resist rolls is you're going to take stress equal to 6 minus the highest of the dice. So normally you just roll your resistances straight, unless you have a special ability.
Oh, nice.
Nice, yeah, 6. So you don't take any extra stress here. But yeah, there's definitely that moment where like we see you spot this guy in the crowd and turn the other way, like and sort of like cover your face, and as you like disappear down an alley or whatever, we see him like look down and it's like, was that who I thought it was? And we cut back to the cab. Rado, the scientist looks up at you and he's like, my apologies, Captain.
Don't apologize, small friend.
So, what about it? Do you think you could get me to Voss?
Oh, that's a trip, There's a lot of gas and monies.
Oh,
and...
yes, I can definitely pay. I have payment.
Oh, is your guild paying or are you?
That's
No.
the risk, Captain.
No, I would definitely be paying you personally. Though, when we arrive, there might be a bonus from the people who I am going to visit.
As you are now officially part of my ship, I need to know all your business. So we will talk later. For now, we will focus on not dying.
and as you say that,
Admirable.
the camera like pans up and we see that there's like a bike following you, and then a second bike like catches up and we see it's the same girl that was talking to Byron. The two of them are hot on your tail. How do you this taxi cab, like he's not going to be pulling any fancy maneuvers to throw them off. So how do the two of you want to try and deal with these bikes following you?
Well, it's true he can't pull off any fancy maneuvers, but I am the co-pilot here. I could maybe instruct him that this alleyway would definitely get us out of their line of sight faster, and if he took a turn here, maybe we could skulk away. Without breaking
So-
traffic laws.
So
Oh,
you're
actually,
gonna-
stop right behind this garbage can for a moment. That'll lose them.
so what action are you trying to use here?
I guess this would be skulk.
Okay, so it's like using
I
your
can't think of a
knowledge
better way to explain trying to instruct someone how to hide the vehicle.
Yeah, it's I look. I think that's fine.
Mhm.
It's you're trying to sort of use use your knowledge of the back streets of Warren to sort of help him out. I think
Yeah.
at Skulk, you'll definitely still be in a risky position. Probably for limited effect here, which means you'll just get 1 tick on the clock, but it does still mean there's effect. It's probably worth mentioning at this point. You can also push yourself for greater effect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm
You
thinking
can-
that might be a good idea here, and that would give me at least 2 dice. It will cost 2 stress or a devil's bargain.
So this is the thing. This is a separate effect to push yourself for a bonus
Mhm.
dice. So you can push yourself for a bonus dice. You can also push yourself for increased effect. So instead of limited effect, you would have standard effect here, which would get you an extra tick on the clock.
Now, that is
Alternative.
theoretically a big risk, but maybe it's worth
Yep.
taking. It's something to think
The
about.
other alternative is you can always barter putting yourself in a worse position to get greater effect. So instead of this just being a risky position, you could put yourself into a desperate position for greater effect.
Right. I
Without
could also
taking
ask the
any extra
captain if he's
stress.
willing to give me an assist here. Maybe he could like drop a flashbang behind us for a moment.
Or not, as the case may be.
Yeah, that depends, Captain.
Yeah, I think we just lost Toad for a minute.
Well,
Ah, okay. Rado is here. I'm so sorry.
that's okay.
That's okay.
I was asking if you'd be willing to take a stress, like you drop a flashbang behind us or something.
Yes, a flashbang. Can I just like scream at them? And
So you're gonna like lean out the window and scream at them.
Extra
Wow.
spittle, Captain. That'll get them to close their eyes.
Sure. If you take a stress, this will sort of like throw them off for a minute while Edwin proposes a particularly daring alleyway for the cabbie to go down.
Alright, so I'm gonna take the 2 stress, and I have the assist. The stress is gonna go for extra effect. So we're doing risky, and we're back to standard now.
Yeah, correct.
And the assist gives me 1 extra die. Confirm?
Yes, correct.
Okay, cool. So let's roll it. There's gonna be 2 dice, and we got a 3 and 2. Worst roll so far, because it's not a crit.
Mm-hmm.
I think a 3
Yeah.
still succeeds-ish, right?
No,
It's a
a 3 is a
4 or 5.
fail. A 3 is a
Ah.
fail. So, yeah, I think what happens is like Rado is like leaning out of the window yelling at these guys, and you like try to direct the cabbie down an alleyway, and he's like, no, I must stick to main streets. We're going to port. and like he goes rocketing past, and because of the monkey leaning out your window, you convince him to like try and go down one of the alleys, but they can still hear Rado screaming, and they come rocketing in behind you. I think the risky complication here. I think you end up in a worse position. Is what happens that
Oof.
you go down in one of the alleyways, and there are 2 more bikes at the other end. The 2 that lost Kit have now rounded, and your cab is now trapped between 2 bikers at either end. Captain Rado, do you have any idea what to do with all these bikers surrounding you? I think one of them yells out from in front of you. He says, "In the name of the Direnet gang, on behalf of the Turner Society, hand over the contraband and we'll let you go." And it's clear he's talking about the cube rather than the scientist. Like, the scientist has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, no one even cares about him yet. He's just caught up in all this.
That's not good.
Mm-hmm. What do you want to do about it, Captain Rado?
So, okay, can you repeat how many there were?
4.
There's
2 in
there's
front,
yeah,
2
there's
behind.
that's it.
Okay, that's not terrible. We can take 4. Are we still all in the car?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, nothing has changed. I will pull out my second blaster pistol
Okay.
and I will slowly hand it to the scientist and I say, "If you need to, little one, you're on. But I would prefer your help."
Yeah, he goes. I don't know how to shoot.
You press the trigger. I'm a fucking.
He like halfway goes to press it inside the car, and he's like, "No, that's a bad idea."
Oh yeah, he's like, how do I activate this?
Um,
And then I will.
does
step
that
out
does
of the
that
car.
fill up your load? You must be getting pretty close to full load.
That is my load. I have the
Okay.
body full butt head. I have my armor. I have communicator, and I have my blaster pistol. My second blaster.
Okay. Yep.
All 6.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
After
And what
that,
are you actually gonna do? Are you gonna like lean out and shoot guys?
I will then slowly step out of the car and say, "We're coming out. We're coming out."
It says, "All right, throw the cube on the ground."
I can't really. It's in my ship.
And then
That's
he like
played
looks.
by. It's like in Edward's hands right now.
Oh,
They-
are you holding it? Are you, Edwin?
Yeah, I imagine if he stepped out, he'd probably just like pass it over to me because he's had it
that
the whole
makes
time.
sense. I just tossed it over to you so you don't have to do anything.
Okay. So it sounds like you need to make a roll here if you're gonna try and convince them that you don't have it.
Sway.
Yeah, it's a sway. This is
Can I
definitely a
actually- can I
des.
be commanding and say, "We don't have it, you talks." Why did I use orchid? Okay. We don't have it, you buttheads. Get out of here.
Okay. So you're just trying to intimidate them.
Yeah, just be like, "Arr!"
All right. So this will be a command roll. You guys are in a desperate situation.
Oh boy.
And I think this is probably for limited effect. You might shake them, but you're probably not going to get them to like all run off at this moment. Now, if you want to move up to standard effect, you can push yourself for 2 more stress.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm reading and I'm scared and I don't want to die. Oh my god. Guys, I'm so scared. Because I only have 3 stress slots left.
Mm.
So I'm like, "Arr!" But I only have 1 command because ending captain very friendly.
There's a gambit left.
There is a gambit left.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well,
You
instead
have
of
me in some way.
Let's just sit there and look pretty, okay? Anyway,
I could definitely do that.
thank you. That's all I need. That'll be inspiration enough. Can he use stress to sit there and look pretty and like help me be forceful?
I don't know that enough like is actual assistance, but if you do want to assist Edwin, you can do. You just got to tell me how you do so.
Yeah, I got to think about that for half a second.
I think for a moment we'll cut away from you because there's another thing happening.
Okay.
And we'll come back to you guys. Have a think about what that moment looks like. We cut back to the bar. And we see like on the ground this like assassin fellow in his black exosuit who Raider basically punched into the ground. We see like the neck of the body like crack to one side and then like lift up, and the mask sort of like refills out, and he pushes himself off the floor. This character who by all means ought to be dead.
We're talking about Chorgoth, right?
Yeah, this is Chorgoth.
He's in my backpack.
Oh, did you? Oh, that's right. You stuffed him in your backpack, didn't you? I forgot about that.
This is gonna get worse.
This is so
That's
bad.
way worse for you.
This is so
So while you're thinking about that thing, also your backpack explodes and
Yeah. So instead, what we see is like that same shot, but it's inside the bag, and then his like hand reaches out. I think though, so the two of you are surrounded. I think you got to go with this roll then. You probably don't know.
I think maybe what I would want to do is steal this roll actually from Rado here and do it myself. I will actually get out and stand on top of the car and address them. And it's
Are you
like,
holding the cube still?
no, I leave it like on the floor of the car, and I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna say, he's right. The monkey's right. There was never any cube. It was a lie by the nobility to get to me.
Okay.
They've been using you. They didn't even tell you that there was another reward out there already, did they? They were never going to pay you properly.
All right. What are we rolling here, Edward?
This is sway. I'm leaning towards trying to
Line.
convince them that
You're
they
right.
weren't getting paid and maybe we could pay them instead. That
Okay.
they've been lied to and confused and nothing is going to go their way with their current employers.
Look,
So
it's
this
still
is a sway
definitely-
attempt of ballsy proportions.
It's still definitely desperate, but I think you have standard effect here instead of limited.
Okay.
Because, like, you leaned on money, which is what these guys care about.
Let's see. And then I think Rado has actually already done his part in this. He could go ahead and give me the stress for the assistance.
That's what, 2 stress?
No, just one for an assist.
Okay, because I'm already about to like just blow my head off, guys.
We've already used the gambit though.
I have reduced it, so if you want, do you want to use that gambit or not?
Just use that.
Yes, actually.
Okay.
What would that change here?
Keep in mind, by the way, this is probably a good time to talk about what happens if you do max out your stress, just because Rado is getting very close. When you reach 9 stress on a mission, you're sort of removed from the action, whether that's like your character goes missing or blacks out or whatever, but they will appear again at the next downtime, but you will gain a trauma. And you basically need to choose between, I think there's 8 different options of what your trauma is, and you can have a think about what that looks like if you do happen to max out on stress.
What? This is insane.
Yeah, so if someone does max out on stress, you'll need to consider the trauma. The upside of doing this is that you get experience when you play into your trauma conditions at the end of a session. The downside is if you get 4 traumas, your character has to either retire or die, pretty much, because their life as a scoundrel is no longer tenable.
Right. To the roll though. So the
Yes.
gambit's already factored into this.
No, you will need to add that you got it an extra bonus die, so that'd be 2 bonus dice, one from the assist and one from the gambit.
All right, so desperate, standard, and 2 dice. We got 4 here. There's pretty good odds, and there's a 5 in there.
Nice. Okay. So desperate 5. Both of you mark experience in resolve here, because that was a desperate action, and you were both involved. You know what? I've already actually given you the consequence. I sort of foreshadowed it, which is so you succeed, you get your effect. You basically rattle this gang. But then Cho'Gath like climbs out of the bag with his katana. And I think he's gonna like this all happens at breakneck speed as well, as he gets out of the bag with his katana, and you're standing on top of like a bin
of
or
a
something?
taxi cab, yeah.
Of the cab that you guys were in?
Yeah, or I got up on the hood.
Okay.
Just I gotta stand up and make a presentation and make myself a giant target.
Yeah, I mean, he's just gonna he cuts at your hip and basically is just gonna give you a incredibly bad wound. So the two consequences here. Well, I guess it's sort of one big complication, which is that Chorgoth climbs out of the bag and gives you a level 3 harm of what do you call that?
Prowess?
Yeah, sorry, I'm talking about that. What I call the harm? Slashed, I guess.
It was skewered, it was skewered. No, it was impaled.
Yeah, this is different. He's not stabbing you. He's sort of slashing you across the midsection.
Well, he's
So
not.
we're still rolling it. There's no bonus dice involved, and I got two dice on this. I think.
Yeah, if you want to resist, it's a prowess resist, and that'll bring it down to a level.
As I'm concerned, he's not stabbing or slashing because I'm gonna bodyguard. I'm going to.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
I'm gonna see him jump out of my bag, and I'm gonna run in front of him and try to tackle him down. So I'll take the hit.
Oh, that's right. You have the bodyguard ability.
Fantastic! Right? I love it.
Okay, so instead of Edwin's roll there, Raider, you're going to do a prowess resistance instead, and you get +1 dice to do so, and but you will be in line for the consequence of whatever happens instead.
Yep. So how do I roll the resistance again? I'm sorry, I completely forgot.
So just click on the word prowess.
Prowess. There we are. Okay. Bonus dice is 1. 6.
Nice. So you take no extra stress, but you are going to take the level 2 harm cut as you jump on this guy.
So because I have armor, when it become a level 1?
Yeah, sure. We'll carry over the armor. Usually, armor is sort of like a one-time use, harm reduction.
I didn't know that. So I don't have armor anymore.
I mean, you've got you fictionally have armor, but in effect, it sort of reduces 1 harm. Is sort of what it's
then never mind. I'll take the 2 harm.
Take the level 2 harm here of being cut. And I think at this moment, Byron, the way has guided you into this alley, and you appear behind 2 of the bikers, and the girl looks over her shoulder and she says, "Not this fucker again."
Ah, cool, it's you, the gang person. I forgot the name of the gang, I'm sorry.
I said don't forget it, it's Dyranet gang.
You pulled away, I was asking you and you pulled away.
She definitely pulls a blaster in your direction.
I am just gonna walk past.
Where are you going?
I got things to do.
So you walk into the alley, and you see this ninja guy who you swore you saw dead a few moments ago. In a tussle with your captain.
Yeah, it's a neat trick. I'm gonna go running at them, hand on the hilt of my own archaic blade.
Nice.
What kind of blade do you have, if I can ask?
Yeah, what does it look like when you draw your sword?
It is similarly, it's a katana, but it has a black and red chrome tint to it.
Yeah, nice.
Do you know how has the folded edge on any katana? Mine is like a chrome red on the folded metal edge.
That's fucking rad as fuck. All right, cool. Give us it sounds like you're gonna scrap with this guy.
Right. Before I make the roll, though, I'm gonna be using something here that I feel requires a little description, because you can't see it, but I'm holding my breath underneath the mask. And what I intend to do is I'm running forwards, and it looks like I'm gonna tackle this guy, but in fact, I just run straight through him and stab my sword backwards, and then release my held breath when the blade goes through his body.
So this is the effect of your precursor artifact, right?
Right, that I can just phase through solid objects while I'm holding my breath. So I suddenly go ghost-like, pass through you all, while still ghost-like, stab my sword backwards, unhold my breath, become solid as my blade is trying to be anyway, in the middle of this guy.
Yeah, nice. All right, give us the scrap here. You're in a desperate situation with the rest of your crew, but I think you're going to have great effect here.
What you said the position was?
Desperate position still. You guys are still surrounded, even though they're a little shaken. And this guy is also like a very high tier assassin.
Sorry, I love these things. Can you offer me a
A devil's
Yeah,
bargain?
I
Yeah,
love devil's
sure.
bargains. They're so fun.
They are fun.
And I can think of the obvious one.
Yeah, what's that?
I stabbed the brain by accident.